Hello, and welcome to the Dokkan battle video. So we got the Cell Max fight here with Merge Zamasu. Let's just hop in just right away. I do still have animations off, and I'll turn them on if we ever need anything like that. But I don't expect this one to be overtly hard. We have a pretty good setup here because Cell Max, his whole gimmick is that he's gonna whittle you down a lot. But with the team that we're running, a lot of these units are gonna struggle to take too much damage from him because these guys are all tanky enough to eat the big boss super attacks or dodge them or have some other mechanic. Let me turn back on the audio for you guys. But they have other ways of dealing with the stuff that this guy can do, whereas characters that would struggle in here would be the ones that aren't just strong right away, aren't able to really take constant beatings, which is just not the case for this fight. Every single character that we're using is able to completely handle themselves in here and can kind of cook it up. So I'm not overly worried about anything that we're going to be experiencing. Sure, if these guys decide that they don't feel like dodging multiple super attacks in a row and then they get hit a few times, it could potentially be a problem. Or if Chilai felt like she didn't want to dodge. But yeah, see, look, they took double digits for a double super. We should be okay here. It would have to be Chilai getting super attacked type disadvantage kind of thing for us to die, which I really think is gonna not be too big of a deal for us. So I think we should be fine. I'm not worried about anything. The Merge Zamasu team, while it is a little weak, there's so many really strong characters that kind of just hard carry. Obviously, Majunior being one of them, where you kind of just slap him on the team and he works perfectly fine. Let's see, where's he super attacking this time? A bunch in the front. Alright, 80% damage reduction time. I think that's probably one of the best things about LR Merge Zamasu. The fact that he starts off with such high damage reduction allows him to really cushion some blows for at least the first 2 turns before your other characters come out and they can actually start eating these attacks. 12 million, very nice, very cool. So he's able to really help. I don't suspect that we're going to get his domain up in this fight, but he's going to cook a little bit, and we kind of take those. I did bring LR Goku Black into Zamasu. People have been saying that they're actually really good now, and while I do agree that they are significantly better than they were when they EZA'd last year, the problem with them is that their starting stats are still really low. As you can see, we're taking damage from Cell Max. Come on now. Right? So their starting stats, even though they have the guard, can still be kind of low. So getting them, those attacks in can be a little bit tricky, especially when you fight bosses like Cell, the first form Cell or Rose. They hit kind of way too hard for those guys right at the beginning, so it's kind of hard to run them. And then you're probably not going to get them fully built up before their guard runs out, and then they just kind of get smoked. So it can be a little tricky there. I'm perfectly fine just leaving it like this. Yeah, we should be 8. Because AGL Zamasu is going to triple super, so he should be okay. More than okay defensively. We're actually probably going to do a decent chunk of change of damage here. Oh, that sucks. I think one major thing that does help a lot this team is the Guasu and Zamasu 70% defensive buff, because considering a lot of the characters here, right, they want to make use of damage reduction. Getting raw defense is actually a big help for them. So you end up getting significantly more value out of their damage reduction when you have characters like Guasu and Zamasu and Chilai that are giving them that extra buff to their actual defense, their actual defensive number, because that's what it's going to take from. And especially when you have these characters who are able to super attack first before they get hit, it ends up making their defense significantly higher, and then in turn making their damage reduction way more useful. He took about 70k from the super, and now he's going to take double digits, right? So it does make a very big difference. How much my TEQ Zamasu going to do? 12 million? It's 55%, by the way. He's so good. Oh, he didn't get the additional or the crit. That's a little upsetting. He's going to do nothing. Thank you, Zamasu. Oh, and speaking of Zamasu, recently we learned kind of how his domain affects superclass allies. So Zamasu's domain takes effect immediately after everything happens. It is the last spot in the actual attack lineup, or stat lineup. So what ends up happening is, right, if your unit would have taken double digits from a normal, even through the domain, they will still take double digits. So Zamasu's domain doesn't nearly nerf superclass allies as much as we initially thought, because it's not going to change too much what actually is going to happen to them. Like, so it's going to take them whatever damage that they would have taken anyway, and then add 30% to that. So, for instance, like if you were going to take, say, like 100 damage from a normal, if Zamasu's domain was active and you got hit by a normal, you would probably take roughly around like 130 damage instead of 100. So it really doesn't matter too much. The only time it matters is if you are already going to get hit really hard, you're going to get hit even harder. So if you were going to take 100k from a super attack or a normal, now you're taking 130. So that part is significant, but it's not going to be as bad as what we initially thought it would be, where like superclass allies were going to start getting like nuked in the domain. Like, that's not going to happen. It's just going to be a little bit harder for them to eat like some super attacks, but otherwise they'd be completely fine. And also, I don't know if you saw, but like Goku Black and Zamasu, their defense, they're fully built up, and their defense was like barely anything crazy. All right. Oh, do we do it? No, I can't. Not with the super attack being around the beginning, because his defense isn't very crazy. Because he only has like, I believe it's 20 or 30% damage reduction. It's not nearly enough for me to want to do that right now. I'd probably live the super attack, but I'd just rather him not take that. I'm more interested to see how much this form of him is going to take. 9 million already? Okay. You triple super for me, buddy? That's 2. Can we get one more to make this perfect? Nah, it's alright. How much is my Zamasu gonna do? 15 million? 55% by the way. He just does so much damage. It's what, 10 million? Okay. Granted, he does have a 50% chance to crit, so he could have crit on every single one of those, and he didn't get hit first, so he could have had even higher attack stats. He is just ridiculous, man. I absolutely love that character. Like, they did such a good job making this Zamasu. Oh yeah, and we're definitely not getting the domain active here. Alright, let's see what this Rambo one does. How many links we got active? 5 out of 7. What are we missing? What are those 2 links? What are we missing here? About 15% attack, and then 2 key and 5% attack and defense. So we're missing about 20% attack from links. So let's just see how much we do. 19.9. Basic 20 million attack stat. 15 million crit. Yeah, I'd say he's pretty good. Very effective unit. Very easy no item run on that one. It's when he doesn't have like constant type disadvantage that he actually can really cook. Because if a character like him can cook in here, like this is exactly what you want for this type of stage. He's so damn good for it. The JP loading time has also been terrible recently. I don't know if you guys have been experiencing this yourself, but it has been god awful. That's pretty much it for this video, though. So definitely let me know how you guys feel about Merge Zamasu in the comments down below. I do think he's really good. They are hearing our complaints that he should have a different name. It's looking like they might have to issue an actual response. So if it does, we'll see what happens. But again, let me know how you guys feel about him in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all in the next one.